on the Breakfast Club and a few other things was the Master P incident. So Pimp and Master P had got into it in the late 90s, quite a lot of drama involved with that. But one of the things that someone noted while I was doing the research for the book was that Pimp was, there were other issues as well, but Pimp was kind of upset because No Limit had this incredible deal where they're getting, 80% of everything off the top, no expenses. They're making millions and millions of dollars. Pimp C, who's, arguably a much better artist, he's stuck in a deal where he's getting 7% after all the expenses are recouped. So I know, Wendy, you were involved in negotiating or, contractually in both of those incredible deal where UGK was kind of stuck in this situation.
I wasn't involved in the UGK original deal, but I was involved in the original Master P deal. It was just a different, P came with a different leverage than Chad. He was cranking out albums every 15 minutes, and I'm exaggerating, but not really, exactly. And P was inferior as an artist, but P also knew that. When the first and only phone call I've ever had with Master P, he called me and he said, "I'm whack, my crew is whack, I'm the wackest in my crew, but I'm the first one to come out. But I'm a marketing genius." And I love that honesty. That's what made me want to fuck with him.
He actually said that?
Yeah. As a New Yorker, like, my background is lyrics. Like, my favorite rapper is Razzcats. You know what I mean? So to go from a background of lyrics to a guy who's really not lyrical at all, but he had sold 300,000 CDs at that point. So it was kind of a no-brainer on the financial side. On the purist side, it wasn't, it wasn't the best deal ever, but control and ownership over an empire. Could Chad have handled that type of deal? No. In fact, my fear would be if he had that type of deal, that it would have shut the door for everybody else, kind of the way the Cash Money deal has shut the door for everybody else, trying to come behind that. Plus it's a different era now. The money isn't like it was back then. But P had put out, I think, 3 albums by that point, and he had a buzz that was all through the Bay Area, all the way down to LA, and down through the South, like through Houston and Louisiana. He was just starting to bubble a little bit in Chicago at the time. So his reach was a lot stronger than UGK's when they did their deal.
Yeah, that's right, Wendy. But what Chad was mad about at the time was that he felt like him and Bond had went over there and they had did a lot of records on Cash Money with a lot of their artists. No Limit. Yeah. And he did a lot for Cash Money also. Yeah. But at the time, the record that pissed Pimp off was the Break You Off record. That was the record that broke him in Atlanta, that broke Master P in Atlanta. And Pimp felt like this was his territory. So what happened was he started asking P, because I remember he called me, he said, "Man, we recorded this song in the house in the bathroom." And he said, "Yo, after the record broke, he wanted the master back." And P was like, "Nah, I ain't giving you the master back." So that's when the war started. The war started, and I remember Pimp called me, and he said, "Gipp, P just came in my room, pulled a gun on me." And I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Man, somebody from downstairs let this man in my room." I woke up and P was standing over me. And what had happened was, and I'm gonna be real with you, it was a hit put out on his life. You know what I mean? It was a hit put out on his life. And the people who was gonna do the hit went to Jay Prince and told him that it was actual hit on Pimp's life. That's when P, if y'all see, P had to leave. P had to leave the South. He had to leave. That's when he left, sold everything. He moved out of Houston and went to LA. And this is when the whole war started. And I was with him during that time. And I think that this is the whole thing. Bond was in the middle of it too. And Bond didn't want that kind of war, but Pimp felt like, man, like I really gave Master P the record that really blew him. And I feel like P, if I helped you, give me my record back. At least give me my master back because I did so many other records for you guys. At least let me have that master. And he refused. And I think that relationship never really got, you know, cleaned up. And never really, I think Pimp went to his grave being an enemy of Master P. You know what I mean? Because he felt like, man, like, come on, man, like, you was already robbing so many of them cats down there. You gotta know, man, P was doing publishing deals and all that kind of stuff. So Pimp at least felt like you got enough money, you got enough stuff going on. At least give me that master back, and we can be friends. You know what I mean? So that it was a real dark time, man. It was a real dark time. But I was there with him. Bro was there with him, and I feel like this, man, like. You could be in the music industry and y'all could be friends today. And tomorrow something blow up and that same friend ain't your friend. You know what I mean? And I think that was the first time that Pimp ever felt like his hand had been slapped by a friend. You know?
Not only not be your friend, but they will shoot at you. Like it can escalate in this industry very quickly.
Well, they actually did squash things after he came home. So.
But and you know, Julia, it's another part of that because, and this is for the artists who have your crews. I remember we was in a hotel one night. Jay Prince was on one phone, Pete was on one phone, and on the other line was C, and everything was being talked through. And I think his name was Tavesta.
That's just Scott.
Yeah, he jumped down and said something crazy about "We're glad this over with, kid, y'all," and that's what just hyped everything up. So you see it over and over again. Your artists are cool, but the crews you hang with will get you in trouble. It'll start more shit than you can handle. And just from my side, like doing security, just what really escalated the violent side to where someone who has no voice in the conversation jumps in the middle and just starts a whole bunch of stuff. I remember, I think it was in Shreveport when C was on stage, packed house, packed Coliseum, and he went in on Master P. That's my record. I gave you that record. You ain't no good in the South. And I'm like, we in Shreveport, for real? My job getting hard. So